Hello friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we'll discuss about a topic letter of intent. Friend, today's topic is very easy to understand and I'm very hopeful that you can very easily understand the topic. Friend, this topic is basically pertaining to or related to business management or project management. Whenever we are making contracts or whenever we are we are doing business, so this concept of letter of intent came. Uh, Friend, if you are a student and studying project management or business, if you are studying, so friend, with respect to exam point of view, this topic is important. You will see this topic in the exam. At least 4 to 5 questions you will see this topic. Especially if you talk about PMP exam or project management exam, at least 4 to 5 questions will be there in the exam which are related to this topic, letter of intent. Also friend, if you are a professional project manager and working in any organization as a professional project manager and business manager, so again this topic is important and you must have to know that what is letter of intent and how to deal with it, how to make the letter of intent. So friend, let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. Letter of intent. Friend, if you just see the term letter of intent, friend, this topic you just think of intent mean intention. A letter of intent, a letter of intention or letter of interest outlines the intention or intent of one party relative to another. These types of letters can be used in a variety of situations, including business negotiations, to signal the intent to purchase real estate, or by recipients of scholarships or college admissions to indicate the intent to accept a formal offer. Basically, friend, this was only just a definition. See, whenever we are doing business or whenever we are basically doing some agreements or we are going to move some contracts and agreements, basically letter of intention or letter of intent or letter of interest, basically it shows to other party that if you are interested, so you will give some letter of intent or letter of interest basically. For example, friend, you are for example you want to purchase some hardware, okay, and some party give you a letter of intent. A letter of intent means that the other party want to give you the hardware. So if someone wants to show his interest, so they can give a letter of intent. Letter of intent means the initial level of documentation, initial level of interest basically between the two parties. They basically tells you that they are interested to purchase your goods, your services, your hardware, software. So basically whenever the two parties are working together and the one party want to show his interest, his intentions in in purchasing your goods, services, software, hardware, etc., so they will give a letter of intent. Basically, letter of intent means basically they are showing interest in your business, in your work, to work with you. So that is why they give a letter of intent. So basically letter of intent or letter of intention or letter of interest basically is basically a letter which outlines the intent of one party relative to another. That is called as letter of intent, friend. So friend, what are the key points here of related to letter of intent? A letter of intent is a document declaring the preliminary commitment of one party to do business with another. The letter outlines the chief terms of a prospective and is commonly used in business transactions. LOI are useful, letter of intent are useful when two parties are initially brought together to hammer out the broad strokes of a deal before resolving the finer points of transaction. Basically, for example, for a friend, you want to sell something, okay, the other party want to purchase the your goods or services. so they will give you a letter of intent. So it is a very initial level of documentation, very initial level of communication, so that they just show that they are interested in your goods services. And after basically it's a very initial level of documentation. After that, the other documentation, other communication can be, other transactions can be done at a later stage. However, the letter of intent, it is a very initial level of documentation which we start at a very initial level. Friend, what is the purpose of making the letter of intent? First of all, friend, the letter of intent clarify which key points of a deal must be negotiated. Basically, it jot down, it's basically point out the key points for discussion, protect all parties involved in the deal, announce the nature of the deal such as joint venture or a merger between two companies. So that is called as a legal, that is called as letter of intent. So basically, friend, see, contract or agreement, it is a very solid legal document which came after several discussion. It came to a point at which the two parties signed the document. However, think of a document which is a very initial level document, which is basically far beyond, which is far earlier than the contract. At this level of point, you just submit a document of letter of interest in which you just mention the points which are negotiable, which need some discussion, and also nature of deal, what type of deal you are going to do. For example, you are going to make a joint venture, or you are going to make a merger, etc., etc. So these sorts of points should be sorted out, should be mentioned in the letter of interest document. For example, friend, in the context of a business deal are typically drafted by a company's legal team, which outlines the details of the for intended action. For example, in the merger and acquisition process, LOI detail whether a firm plans to take over another company with cash or through a stock or deal. For example, for a friend, you want to sell a company ABC. The other company send a letter of interest that they want to purchase and or merger in a company, and they will also mention that they will do it through the cash or through the stock deal, etc., etc. So that is the main example of letter of interest there. Letter of interest also have applications beyond the business world. For example, parents may use them to express the expectations they have for their children in the event both parents die. Although they are not legal documents like wills, LOI may be considered by family court judge responsible for legislating what happens to the children under such circumstances. Friend, just think of a LOI, another document just before the will. It is not a will document. That if the parents think that if in case both parents, like father and mother, both die in some case, so what will happen? What will happen with the children? So this is not so LOI is not a legal document. However, it will be considered as a document which can be discussed, which can be considered in a can considered by the judge as well. Okay, friend. In the last, I just want to show you a sample document of the LOI, letter of intent. Basically, just think of a document. Letter of intent is basically nothing else. Just think of a document which is showing your interest in the in other parties business, friend. Whenever we are making business, whenever doing business with someone else, two parties or more than two parties, so letter of intent is basically or document which we make at a very early stage of our business. The purpose of the making of letter of intent is that we basically sort down the things, we mention the things which are negotiable, which needs discussion, and also the nature of contract which we are going to do in the future. Like it will be a joint venture, it will be a contract, whatever the type of contract which you are going to do in the future, you have to mention those in the letter of intent. So letter of intent means letter of interest which you make at a very early stage of a business, so that you can show your interest in the business or to do business with other party. So friend, thank you, thanks a lot for your time, and that's all from my side. I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and tell your colleagues, and thanks a lot for your time.